Good morning, everyone. And welcome to launch day. I'm very excited about the whole thing. I can't even lie. So I think I might just be a minute early, but I couldn't wait anymore because I was ready. So, here we are. So I am broadcasting at the minute we're live on Instagram and Facebook, which means I'm trying to get a third device so I can see your comments. So give me a moment. But please, as you get online, please say hello, give us a wave, or if you're feeling super generous, you can always share the video too, because that's very helpful. I have to say, it's very, very helpful. So today we are launching 4 new Be Crafty stamps and 2 new Be Crafty Inkable sets. Okay, so we have quite a lot to do. Oh, and you can hear me talking on this tablet that I'm trying to... Oh, isn't that just... No. Oh, no, it's yucky. So what we're going to do today, we have got lives throughout the day. We have got offers. We have got pre-records that are going on YouTube. We have got giveaways. We've got loads going on. So please try and tune in with us as and when you can. There's lots going on, so do try and keep up, up with us if you can. Sorry, I'm just trying to see the comments on this tablet. It ain't working, so we might just have to wing it. Terrifying thought, I'm fully aware. So basically, yeah, let's get to. There are, like I say, 4 new stamps being launched today, 2 brand new doodle arts, and 2 wordage. Okay, we're really excited about these. Sam and I have been working on them for a little while, and they gave me an opportunity to colour in, which I absolutely love. So that's all very, very good news. So do you know what? Let's just get to it. I'm going to give up on this video because it's not in terms of seeing the comments. So I'll give you a wave, and then we'll just sort of have to go with it. So what's happening here is we have got lots of gorgeous new doodle art flowers. Now, the reason I went with these is because I was looking for something that I wanted to do with my art journaling that I could layer up onto sort of like the pen and ink style backgrounds as well as the doodle art, something that would cover both. Okay, so I wanted to come in with some different sizes of flowers, and like, do you know what I mean? That you could layer up, you could stamp on different things, you could stamp directly on, and you will see the creative team have come up with some absolutely beautiful samples that you can check out on the Be Crafty Stamps group on Facebook. If you're not a member of the Be Crafty Stamps on Facebook, you should be. There is loads of inspiration using all the Be Crafty stamps, and the Be Crafty creative team are absolutely second to none. Okay, now let's just have a quick run through of some of the deals that are on today as well, because I did say there'd be special offers. So on these, okay, we have a big bundle. There's 5 different bundles today, so hopefully whatever it is you wanted most, we've been able to give you a bit of an offer on that. All right, so for example, if you want it all together, that's bundle 1, and that you can save £10 on that bundle. Okay, if you just wanted the stamps and not the dinkables and texture discs, that's bundle 2, and you can save £5 on that bundle. Okay, I just might as well do all the selly stuff first. Okay, and then you have the other bundles. So we have a bundle which is just the doodle art stamps, we have a bundle that is just the wordage stamps, and a bundle which is just the texture discs and dinkables. Okay, and the reason we've done that is so whichever, say you only want these, you can still get a little bit of a discount. Okay, which is absolutely fab. But what we're also doing today, I was going to say, if you are interested at all, obviously the £10 is the best saving. And obviously you can buy them individually. Okay, say, well, that's great, but, I can only really stretch to this one today, but I really want it. That's available individually as well. And the stamps are still free postage for the minute. Okay, like I said, we're going to keep the free postage on stamps alone for as long as we humanly can. But in all honesty, with Royal Mail postage, I wouldn't like to dictate how long that's going to be. But what we've also done for the day, because we have the fantastic creativity words back in stock as well as lots of other Be Crafty stamps and things like that, of course, we have put a 20% off discount on every other Be Crafty stamp. Okay, so if there is anything else in the Be Crafty stamps range that you've been waiting on or and ahhing about, now's the time. Now's the time, chaps and chapettes. Because there. So Sam will be putting on links for you. And then, so, right. So first of all, we have the Dandedaisy. Okay. Now, on this stamp set, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stamps. Okay. You've got coloured in inspiration on the backing card there. It is a laminated backing card, as you can see from the shine. So it's a great place to store your stamps. All right. And these are excellent for layering. You've got the 2 different sizes of Dandedaisy there, plus the extra leaf. They're really good for building. Absolutely fab. Love it. Okay, then we have the Blooming Blooms. Now, in fairness, I actually prefer how I've coloured this one, really. But what can you do? All right. So on this one, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, Sam actually used this stamp set in her live in Crafting Together with All Brands last week, okay? And she has decided that this is the best stamp. Out of the nearly 20 stamps that you have here, she has decided this is the best one, she says, because you can use it with so many different things. It's a proper workhorse type stamp, okay? So she absolutely loves that one. All right, so tip from Sammy Sam. Okay, then we have done the Incredible Words. Now, in fairness, this is one of these sets that we've been meaning to do for ages because everybody loves the creativity words so much. So what we've done is we've brought in, and these have been going a couple of years now. So we've brought in the Incredible Words. And what I love about this is you can mix and match them with these, okay? So you've got the Haver on the new Incredible Words set, but you could, use Dream or Have a Laugh. You know what I mean? So you can really sort of mix and match because all of these are separate stamps. Okay? They're not together. So you can put them together. You can be incredible. Be spontaneous. You are amazing. You are strong. You are incredible. So you can really do it. You can do art. So you can really sort of join these together to lots of different sentiments and words with your cards and art journaling. Okay. And then we have the Ticker Tape 4, another one that's been a while in the making. Excuse me. Lots of different ones on here. But what we'll do is the thing you seem to enjoy me doing the most in terms of launching new things is stamping them all out. So did everybody want me to do that again today as normal? Get them stamped out so you can see them stamped out. I have got myself... Wonderful, you have a life. Yeah, exactly, Sharon. Okay, so if everybody wants me to do that, alternatively, obviously, I can go straight into creating. Now, like I say, we've got lots of lives planned for today, but I will say yesterday was primarily made up of stamping and cutting out, okay? Because I know I'm going to use these so much layering out. So I didn't only layer them up, stamp and cut them out on white linen, okay, which I absolutely love because you can use everything on it. Okay, I also stamped it on some of my Shakespeare book pages, okay, which I think are going to be very usable and very beautiful. So I'm really quite excited about those. Okay, but this one, I can't wait to decoupage. We've got loads on here, and like I say, you've got the 2 sizes as well. And you've got the 2 sizes of the Dandedaisy. Now for me, what that means as well is you'll be able to mix and match across the sets. So for example, if you wanted to take the Dandedaisy and put a daisy centre in the middle of that flower, you can. Sorry, I'm just waiting for that to focus. Or vice versa. You can take a small one from over here. And layer up the Dandedaisy in a little bit of a different way. Okay, so what it means is you can really sort of create other flowers too, which is what we want, you know. If you are new to Be Crafty, welcome, hi. If you're not, you know, if you are, what you'll know is one of the reasons I love stamps so much is because of how much you can do with them. Okay, you can use them and you've still got them. You don't use them up. So you can try techniques, you can try them on different things, you can try, but you've still got them afterwards. So you've not lost anything. You know, when you're cutting up papers, once you've used them, if it doesn't work, it's still gone. But with stamps, you can just keep going. So that's why I think stamps are the best crafting tool, because you can do so much with them, which means they're always good value because you can mess about. Okay, but something we obviously haven't discussed yet, which I probably should have, is the new Dinkables set. Okay, so again, if you're new to Be Crafty, Dinkables are our smallest range of inkables. Okay, I'll get something darker to put these on. Just give me a second to show you. So this is Dinkables set 11, so there are 10 other sets. All right. And this is an absolutely stunning set. I'm so excited to use it. Oh, that one's still got a bit in. I'll pop that out in a second. Okay, so that's, and what I love about these is I think these are absolutely fab. Alrighty, and then we have a new set of texture discs. This is texture discs set 4. And all your texture discs come with a little book ring. Some of them did come with bigger ones for a while because we couldn't get the little ones. So if you did, you know, bonus. Okay, so we've got this one. There's been lots of wonderful creative team samples using this. Okay, and you've got these beautiful, I'll move these down out the way, this gorgeous sunflower. And that one too. Okay, so if templates are more your thing, if you're just starting out with templates, that is one of the reasons we do Dinkables and texture discs, because you can get, you know, 5 different ones for the $9.99. So it's, you know, it's a cheaper way of building up your texture collection. Okay, right, okay, let's get on and I'll do some stamping. Okay, Shireen, can you not put mine in the plastic packets? Shireen, they're all already packed, darling. That's, you know, we sit and pack it all. So it's just, yeah, they're a really good way of starting texture. All right, so now I'm going to get on and I'm going to start doing some stamping up so you can see them. Now, if you go to the website, all of the new products for today's launch are in a category all of their own at the top of the website. Okay, so they're really, really easy to find. But all the other items we sell are on the left-hand side, and there is, like I say, 20% off all the other Be Crafty stamps today, and you'll be able to find that link. All right, let's get some stamping started. Here we go. So now I can sit down, but that does mean I can't see your comments because the other tablet is acting up. So all I'm saying is I can't see you. All right. So Sam, if there's anything really bad I've done, message Abby and she'll have to whiz in and tell me. Alrighty. Oh, okay. Whilst I'm here, let's just do a little bit of housekeeping. Why not? Because, you know, the joys of doing releases on our own page. The blending mats are back in stock. Okay, if you're new to ink blending or smushing, the blending mats are brilliant for that. They are really, really good. And also the new printed transparencies are back in stock as well. Okay, but we'll probably come to those a little bit later. Okay. So let's just move these out the way a second because we're just going to do some stamping. Okay, so we'll go for, you know what, I think we're going to go for Blooming Blooms first, okay, which is this set here. And like I said, you can see on here all the possibilities for colouring, layering. You know, both of these have got at least 3 layers that you could decoupage. So So you can really have some fun with that if that's your thing. If not, they look beautiful as they are. They're really easy to colour, lots of fun. So let's crack on. Because I know, and you'll be very pleased to know, I have treated myself to a lovely new VersaFine Clair Nocturne so that you can see them stamped out at their very best today. Alrighty. Okay, these are absolutely fab. Okay, if you're stamping out, I think the thing is, if you're stamping out fine images or whatever, obviously VersaFine's brilliant. But to be honest, I think that's why I just sort of that I go to them as my default. I have been using my Distress mini archival black soot for doing some of my priming, because it's just a great way of priming your stamps. But I can't lie, I don't always do it. And those of you that are usually here at Be Crafty will know I don't always prime my stamps. Okay, it says on the back you should prime your stamps, and you should, but that doesn't mean I always do. Okay, so that is the first one. I mean, look how beautiful that is. We've been calling it a peony, but it's not really a peony. It's more of a... It's just a flower. Do you know what? It's just a flower. It's a hand-drawn doodly flower, which is why the Dandedaisy is called the Dandedaisy, because I sort of started off with a sort of daisy-type look, but it's got more dandelion-type leaves. So I love this one. I'm actually planning to do this one as sort of like a big sort of floral hair on one of the journaling girls. I keep seeing it. So it's like, right, well, that's got to be done at some point. Okay. Then I'm going to get some of these little ones, because I like to show you how well these stamp. And obviously this is a brand new ink pad, so it's going to be quite inky. But I just want to show you. You still get all the fantastic dot detail, even in the mini one. Sorry, I'm just going to go to the Instagram cam first. Okay, and then always over to the Facebook one. Oh, hello. Which is having trouble focusing. Okay, so you still get all the dot detail come out there, which is really, really cool. Alright. So we'll do that one. Should probably leave that there, shouldn't I? So you can see. Yes, I do stamp sideways. I always stamp sideways. It's easier. It is just easier, and I'm all about making your life as easy as it can be, especially when you're crafting. This is what we do for fun. Don't do anything that's going to make it hard work, or it's going to take away any of the enjoyment for you, because that seems silly. Okay, I think I did sort of over ink that one a little, but that's okay. And then you've got this little dude who I quite like. I think this is this one here, which I think is going to be really good for like building stems and that sort of thing. And then I could use a smaller super skinny. I'm sure that's what you're all saying. Again, for anyone that's new to Be Crafty, super skinny slims, which I'm using, is my acrylic block. Our own range of acrylic blocks. We've got these, we've got slims if you prefer something a little bit thicker, but I like the super skinnies because they've got that bit of flex. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to risk it for a biscuit and take the last three little stamps here, and we're going to stamp them all at the same time. And I've just stuck my finger in the ink pad. It was bound to happen, wasn't it? It was bound to happen. Okay, and that's your last three. Okay, so that's all of your stamps from the Blooming Bloom stamp set. Okay, and they're absolutely beautiful. You can see, I mean, you look at them and you're like, oh yes, I'd like to colour those in. They're rather fabulous. Alrighty, so let's go. So let's move this to the side, and then we will come in with the Dandedaisy. Next, okay. Like I say, this has got a few less stamps on it because you've got that big vocal Dandedaisy. Again, I probably should cover for anyone that's new to Be Crafty. All of the stamps come with a laminated storage card, okay, with some care instructions on the back and whatever. And then your printed design here. But they do also come with a printed acetate. So, and another acetate sheet on. So you do have lots of different storage possibilities with your Be Crafty stamps. So I'm going to do exactly the same again. I'm going to turn this sideways. Okay. I'm going to ink up. Yeah, my VersaFine Claire that I already had, I was using it to stamp up so I could cut out yesterday. And it was getting paler and paler and paler, and I was having to stamp like over the top again. And I thought, if I try and do that live tomorrow, there's no way it's going to work. Oh dear. And then we'll put the smaller one, which is also, you'll see, turned about. Okay, so the top leaf is on the opposite side. Okay, and then we have this big, and it sort of ended up kind of poppy looking. I'm not saying that that's necessarily exactly what I was going for when I started drawing it, but it's, you know, it's what we ended up with, and I actually really love it, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't have ended up on the set. And you've also got a smaller version of that too. I love having a couple of different sizes because I think it means you can build scenes. You can, like I say, use different flowers as centers, which I think is really fun. So it just, you know, you've got this little daisy looking one here. Now the fab thing about this little guy is you can move the stem. Okay, so if you wanted a perfectly straight stem, you can do that too and create sort of like a field of them. So that's, you know, a very groovy thing about him. And then we've got this lovely big leaf, which is great for adding in other details. I can't believe how much black ink I've already got all over my fingers, and I'm trying to be good and everything. Alrighty, and then you've got, oh, I forgot about this little guy. I'm going to do something I always tell people not to do. Got a little leaf there. Then a little, these three little circles. They're great for just, you know, you can use them to build up a stem, you can use them to add an accent, or you can join them all together to make a border, something like that. That was more of a, there's a gap in the stamp set, let's put a stamp in there rather than have an empty space. Okay, and now we've got this little guy here, and I've just stuck my finger in the ink pad again, honestly. Which is just some nice simple doodly leaf type vines, but again, although it's naturally on a curve, if you want to, you can straighten it out and things like that to create a taller stem if that's what you want to do. Okay, so that's pretty cool, I think. Okay, so let's just rotate this back round so you can see that's those stamps there, and there's your blooming blooms. Okay, like I say, it's something that doing the live launches here on our social media accounts, we have noticed that people enjoy the most is me stamping them out, so you can really see the quality of the photopolymer stamps that we have, and things like that. So I hope that was great. I'm not going to bother with the words because otherwise we're going to run out of time to do absolutely anything else at all. And I still want to show you the Dinkables and the texture discs. So, you know, we've got to move on. Okay, so let's move on. Alrighty. So like I say, if you are struggling for mojo, which I think is possibly The question we get asked the most, I'm struggling for mojo, what shall I make? In all honesty, grab a stamp set and start stamping them out. Start stamping them out. On as daft as it sounds, on a cardstock you trust, because that way you can use whatever you want to colour it. Okay, so this is sort of like a smooth, so this is more ideally suited for alcohol markers, things like that. If like, for example, yesterday when I was just stamping and cutting out, I used the Be Crafty white linen. I do that because I tend to use more water-based on a general scale because it's easier. And that takes that really, really well. Alright. So that being said, I am going to use this smooth for putting my distress inks on so I can show you. Right. So we're going to go for... Honestly, I thought I'd already lost a texture disc then, but there is actually 5. It's all fine. Alright, so we'll do the Dinkables set 11 first. Like I say, if you're new to Be Crafty, I'm sure you've already worked out if this is set 11, there are 10 other sets, you know, which there are. There are, that is true. And they are all fabulous and they're all useful and really, really good if you are, you know, trying to build up a selection. All of our inkables, whether it's these ones, the texture discs, the inkables big ones if you're looking for a bigger pan, the 6x6 standard, etc., they're all made from 350 micron mylar, which means you can emboss with them. You can use, in fact, I've got the samples with the big ones to show you. Actually, I'll show you. It means they're all made from the same 350 micron mylar, so it means you can emboss with them really, really well. You can use Stickles glitter gel. You can spray, you can ink, you can use texture paste, you know, you can doodle through them. They're all made using that same really high quality mylar so that you can do so many techniques with them. Alright? Because that's what's really important. But, obviously the thing I do most with them, especially the smaller ones, is I either blend through them using distress ink, or I use texture paste through them. Those are the two main things that I do with them. Okay, so I'm going to use some Uncharted Mariner, and do you know what? I think I'm going to go for. I'm going to change my mind on the mustard seed. I'm going to go for some Rustic Wilderness. Oh, I don't know now. Let's go for a little bit of Rustic Wilderness. Let's do the blue and the green, and then we'll do something different with the texture disc. We'll go for hotter colours. Okay, so this is your set 11. Okay, now, like I say, there's lots of other sets. You can use your sprays for these. You can use your regular distress. You can use your texture paste. There's so many beautiful things. I'm just blending in now with my blending brushes. You can stick these down if you wanted to. Obviously, I'm in the words of Neil Buchanan. I'm just doing it quick to show you right now, just to show you what you can do. I mean, that is a stunner, isn't it? That is an absolute stunner. And the thing is, bear in mind, you can still use this. Actually, I'll get a mini mister if I've got one with water in. Okay, so you don't waste that ink. You spritz it, put it down. You've got another pattern. Okay, so you've got. I always think of with my inkables and dinkables, you've got like 2 patterns with each pattern, if that makes sense. I know what I mean. I don't for 1 minute expect anyone else to do too, though. Know what I mean? Okay. Another beauty. I won't do them all both ways because, you know, like I say, we want to be nice to actually make something. Just using our 2 colours just to get some different. Oh, hello. So obviously these are great for ATCs because they're just the right size. beautiful pattern there. So these were designed by Mum. Oh, this one has just got a little one in it, hasn't it? That didn't pop out. So let me just get my snips. And then got this one. Now this one I have to say I think is my favourite, but I don't know because I absolutely love them. Okay, absolutely fabulous. Alrighty, so we'll move. So that's the new Dinkable set 11. Okay, and now we'll go on to the texture discs. So let's swap these over for some slightly warmer colours. Okay, so I think we'll go for carved pumpkin and an abandoned coral. Okay, so again, I'm just going to stick with my blending brushes, but you can use blending tools. Absolutely no worries at all. So let's start with this sunflower here. Now again, this would be a really good one to ink up and then spritz and go over, because then you'll end up with the sunflower done. You know, you could actually ink it as it is. So I'm going to go on with there. And of course you can layer these inside your texture discs. You can layer them inside your easy frames too, which looks absolutely beautiful. It's something the creative team have done, so you can have a look at that on the Be Crafty Stamps group. So you've got your sunflower. Your rising sun there. And then another beautiful wavy one, and I think this one, as daft as it sounds, combined with this Dinkables one, they just work. It just works. Just works. Okay. I'll work down the middle of this one, and then to the outside with the abandoned coral. Stunning. And this one I'm going to do the abandoned coral in the centre and around the edge. And you can see you don't have to be like super careful with it. It's just a case of... See, and that's not what you were expecting, were you? Because you see the the petals mostly in the texture disc, and then you see the little triangles mostly in here. It is really sort of like a 2-for-1 pattern thing, which is absolutely stunning. Okay, and then this little doohickey, and I can tell you for a fact this one is going to become my favourite texture disc edition, because those little dots and dashes there, love them, absolutely love them. Okay. Blooming marvellous. Okay, but you can see, if I just... Yeah, so that was the carved pumpkin and abandoned coral. But you can see if I bring in the Dinkables again, and then bring in the stamped images, you can see how well all of these are going to work with the doodle art. Okay, so absolutely fantastic. They are all going to go on here. Okay, really, really well. Okay, so we're happy? Are we happy? Honestly. Love it. Right, let's crack on. So now I feel like we should make something, because I'm actually dying to actually use them. Like, use them. Very, very much so. So, obviously we haven't got time for a massive make, so I'm going to take one of these pieces of Super Smooth. Right, and I'm going to go just over 5 inches on the edge of here, because it's what I got. Okay, and then put that down and grab one of our blending mats so that we can blend onto here, and we're going to stamp onto here as well, and really sort of use all of those stamps and all sorts of loveliness. Okay. So I think I'm going to go with, I'm going to really mix up some colours. We'll go with a Saltwater Taffy, a Villainous Potion. Where's the two we were using earlier? A Uncharted Mariner and a Rustic Wilderness. And I think we're going to have to chuck a little bit of mustard seed in there, aren't we? We really, really are. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab no, actually I'm not. I've decided against it already. Okay, so we're going to put some mustard seed onto our blending mat. We're going to spritz the mister, and we're going to do some smushing. Now, like I've said before, this is Super Smooth card. This is not ideal for water techniques, but it's what I had on my desk, and I think we've all been there before. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the mustard seed to this card. Okay. And then we're going to come in with our texture discs and Dinkables. And I think what I'm going to do is the ones that have got a lot of ink on from our earlier techniques, I'm just going to spritz and layer them on. I had a brayer here earlier. Oh, here it is. So I'm just going to rub that on. And then what have we got here? This one. Let's spritz. I'm going to rub that on. I'm going to keep going. There. And I think we'll go with this one. I'm going to put it over the top. And then again, we're going to heat set. Because this is quite thin as well. Alright. Then I think we will take templates again, and we're going to add some more in. So I'm going to go with, again, I think some of the texture discs for this, just to make sure they're dry, rub them on the leg. We'll go with some Uncharted Mariner again. I'm just going to blend it out from the middle to give us a little section there. And a smaller section on the bottom. And then I think I want to bring in a little bit of the Villainous Potion. Get my purple brush. And then this one. So again, just make sure it's dry. But I'm going to do a line down the way, okay? So we're going to go, we'll brush up and down. What I'm going to try and do is just not match it up, but just continue it on a bit. You see that's actually linked up really, really well to create a length. So this is the thing, don't look at your texture discs or your Dinkables, sorry, sort of lost my breath there, as if they can only do the sizes that you know you've got them for. You can extend them, you can bring them out, okay, which is absolutely fab. Okay, now we're going to take some of our saltwater taffy and we're going to blend in. So we're going to use our blending mat. Okay, so you start the blend over here. We're going to come in from the edges. So, just bring a bit more of that in. And then we're going to do a lighter one. Just going to flip that over. And then we're going to do a lighter one with the Villainous Potion. So we're going to start out here, but we're not going to come quite in as far. We're just going to catch that edge. Okay. So we're not covering up the saltwater taffy. We're just sort of adding to it. Alright. Remove that. Let's get a clean one in so you can see what I'm doing. Fantastic. Alright, now we're going to add some of our stamps to the outside. Alright, so I'm going to go to the Dandedaisy. Okay, and we're going to add, actually I've changed my mind already, we're going to go to the Blooming Blooms and we're going to go with Sam's favourite one here. Okay, and we're going to use our journal border, super skinny, and our VersaFine. And we're going to, do you know what, I'm actually going to start in the middle. And we're going to, yeah, we're going to just create a little sort of and then off the end there, just created that down the side, beautiful. And then using one of the small flowers, I'm just going to go in the gap. Alright. And then we're going to get, I want one of these Dandedaisies, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of the ones I cut out yesterday, so that way you don't have to spend time watching me cut out. And this is going to go on here. But actually, I've already come up with another idea as well. Let me grab, so this is our incredible words, okay? So you can see all the words on here that I was showing you earlier. You've got incredible, do, spontaneous, strong, be it, amazing, time, are, brilliant, wonderful, you have a life. And they're all separate stamps. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use them to add on to the background here. Alright, so I'm going to ink, I'm going to leave them all on their sheet, all on their carrier sheet. And I'm going to ink them up with the saltwater taffy Distress Oxide. I'm umming and ahhing as to whether it should have been the Villainous Potion, but you know, that's okay. We're going to go onto the side here. And I've got to be honest, I'm not usually this bothered by it, but as I've got my brayer and I used it earlier, might as well just give it a quick roller over. And then we've added those words to there, and I'm pretty impressed with the zing. That's pretty good. Okay. So with our daisy, as you can see, our Dandedaisy, that is going to look absolutely beautiful on there in black and white. But let's add a little bit of colour. Okay, so I'm going to put some saltwater taffy on there and a little Villainous Potion. And we'll put some Rustic Wilderness down here. Alright, we're going to spritz that with my sprayer, and then we get a little brush. So I am using the Dina Wakley number 2. I'm actually going to just put a little puddle there. And I'm just going to put a little bit of water on first. And then some of the saltwater taffy around here. And like I said, this was done with, these were stamped with the VersaFine Claire yesterday. And I heat set them as well, just because I like to. And that way, whenever I go on, I know I'm gonna go on there, and then a little bit of the Rustic Wilderness on here. And this does need a little mustard seed, doesn't it? So we'll go clean that off. Spritz with my mustard seed. Put some of that in there. Absolutely stunning. And then some in the leaves here. Like I say, you can see, and this is why I mostly do watercolour, whether it's with my Eco Lines or with my Distress ink, because in all honesty, it's just easier. I find it easier, to be honest. So we're just going to go around there, our purple, and then get our pink back in around here. And then I'm just going to put this on one of my non-stick craft sheets that I attach to a board to heat. Okay, you don't want to heat on your blending mat, it will bend. Okay, so what I do is I use the Be Crafty non-stick craft sheets and I stick them to a wooden board, and I use these to heat on, because that way the heat doesn't transfer to anything underneath. I can just heat directly on it, and I don't have to worry about the non-stick craft sheet creasing or getting folded up somewhere. Now, as you can see, with when I cut out, I do like to leave a bit of a white edge. I think this especially works with the doodle art, to be honest, because it gives that nice sort of relaxed feel to it. So that's what I like. And you should do what you like, honestly. Right. So I'm going to now, I have to be honest with you, my eldest daughter was a very good girl yesterday and helped me sort my desk. Yes, I'm that messy. So I'm just going to whiz over and have a look to see where she might have put one of my white sprays. So here we go. I've got my gloss white Dina Wakley. Okay, so I'm just going to give that a bit of a shake, because it looks like I definitely didn't close it perfectly the last time, which is a very bad thing for a Dina Wakley spray. But you know, here we are, and we're going to tap some white gloss spray onto here and onto the flower. Not very big droplets, are they? I think I might have actually wrecked this. Oh, hello. Oh, there we go, that's better. Alrighty. And then I'll go back to my heating board with my non-stick craft sheet. Now, if I'm doing a full coverage background with Dina Wakley gloss sprays, I don't heat it because it is a plastic, so it's not a good idea. But in fairness, if I am just doing spatters, I will. My craft room is quite well ventilated, so it's not something I tend to worry about too much. Okay. Then I'm going to get my white Posca pen. Give that a bit of a shake. I'm going to add in some little white details to the petals. Some little white spots. Obviously you don't have to do this. In the colouring example on the backing card, I've added some faux stitching as well to give you that as an idea. So this is the thing. We used to do just black and white, but we found with the doodle art, which are fine for like the pen and ink style, but we found with the doodle art people were saying I'd like some ideas on how to colour, which is why we started doing the coloured in. So if you are one of the owners of one of the original doodle art launches, you probably do have a black and white. Okay, now I'm going to take a pair of scissors. Okay, I'm just going to go around and we're going to rough up the edge of this piece of card. Okay, just to stress it a little because it looks good, I think. Again, you've got to do what you think looks good for your project. But this is why stamps are, again, well, going back to what I was saying at the beginning, this is why stamps are so good. You can have a try of something new, and if it doesn't work, you've still got your stamps, still got your inks, you can try something else. You know, don't let it... Okay, and I'm going to get a card. If you've been tuning into the Be Crafty Try It Out Tuesdays every week recently, you will know I am using primarily scalloped white cards because I found a massive stack of them in my craft room. That's a good enough reason as any. Alright, so I'm going to use some 3D foam to stick this down. But if you're not a member of the Be Crafty Stamps group, please head on over. There's loads of fantastic inspiration. There's a monthly challenge, a monthly ATC swap. There is also, it's also one of the first places the DT put links to the blog. Now, the Be Crafty creative team put some absolutely amazing things on the blog. They're step-by-step photo tutorials so that you can copy and make your own projects. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to put that on there, and I think once it's on a card it does look especially different. Okay, and then that is going to go there. I honestly I go back and forth between which is my new favourite flower on the new doodle art sets. I can't decide if it's the Dandedaisy or it's the Blooming Blooms, which is why, in fairness, there are 4 stamp sets this time because Sam and I, you know, we talk about releases and plan releases and whatever. And we originally discussed basically 1 flower stamp set and 1 set of words. And then when I sent the proof of the flower set to Sam, I actually sent 4. And she went, it was supposed to be 1 in 1 words. And I was like, well, I can't pick between these 2. So what are we going to do? So hence we decided on 1 flower and 1 words. Okay, so I've got some of the beautiful, incredible words that we used on this background already cut out. And I think we'll go with an incredible to go on there. These beautiful, incredible words. I think that is going to fit absolutely perfectly for today. So there you go. Sally Holmes has just put an album on the group, and so the creative team are going to be putting all of their samples in there. So if you're looking for inspiration, okay, Sally, you've inspired me to use my scallop edge cards. I actually really like them, Sally, because I know I can cut a piece of card this size and it will fit. Do you know what I mean? I can fit them all on my scallop cards, and it all works. So that's pretty cool. Right, so let's get this sentiment on. I'm going to do it so it's just over the stem, but it's pretty much in the middle of the card, which is a big deal for me. I don't usually put things right in the middle, truth be told. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to take a piece of white card here so you can really see it. Okay, so that's those two. So we've got, if there's anything else you want to see stamped, now is the time, okay, because I'm stood up, I'm reading comments again. If there's anything else you want to see stamped, now is the time. Like I say, there's loads of inspiration, and I think you can see they're pretty, you know, the same as they are on the backing cards. There's the black and whites, if that helps you out at all. So there's lots of other things happening today. There is the giveaways. There are the lives. There is the beautiful pre-record that's coming with Anne at 12 o'clock. That'll be available on YouTube. But I will put a link on to the Be Crafty Facebook page, and to there is a YouTube link on the link tree on Instagram if that's where you're with us today. If you do, like I say, want to see anything else stamped out that I missed, let me know and I will do it. If there is a giveaway and you're like, oh, I'm not that fussed about that, share it anyway. Somebody you know might like to have a go. Do you know what I mean? Which is absolutely fantastic. So I hope, thank you so much for joining me for the launch. If you I've totally forgot what I was going to say then. Thank you. If you have already purchased, thank you so much as well. There is a link there to the group where all the new stuff is. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. Like I say, anytime you can comment or share any of the Be Crafty posts, it is really, really appreciated. All right then, guys. Oh, so I should probably have a quick run through, shouldn't I? So at 12 o'clock, we have a YouTube pre-record, which is a journal page by Anne. Absolutely beautiful. Then at 2 o'clock, we have a live with Sam. Okay, so who knows what sort of craziness that's going to be, especially if the dogs try to help. Okay, and then at 4 o'clock, we have a live with Sally. Okay, and then to wrap up the entire day at 8 p.m, we have a joint live with me and Sam and I, the pair of us. You know, call it what you will, but you know, you don't have to say it out loud. Where we will go through everything else that we've seen today. So if there's anything else you'd like to see done, keep letting us know. Keep letting us know, because we can change and adapt and all that sort of thing. But yeah, but don't forget the offers that are on the website. And if you need any help, please let us know. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye.